What is up everyone, I'm Gooshy. We've got someone really special in this video today. It's the one and only Joey Dominguez. If you don't know who this guy is, Joey is the first, and to my knowledge the only person who has done a solo nightmare with no zones lost and completing all objectives. Joey mains a hunter, so you could say he knows a thing or two about killing waves of enemies as fast as possible, all while staying alive. So in this video we're going to be going over what he uses in his build, some tips and tricks that he uses within his gameplay, and most importantly his playstyle, as he fights different types of enemies. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Gooshy! What's up, dude?
As a rule of thumb, Joey does use different gear depending if he's soloing or if he's playing with other people, which we will address in the video. So let's start off with the techniques.
It kind of depends what you're running for. For example, like if you're gonna speedrun, I have a whole video on my channel with Yapua Stink. So in terms of like techniques, before I get to like the build, like he likes to run Explosive Arrow. When I solo, I run Executioner, which is the rank 2 perk. But when I'm solo or when I'm speedrunning with like a solid team, I have to use the Hunter Unleashed, which is the decrease of class ability cooldown. And every speedrunner runs on the perk 2. They run Status Damage, which is the rank 9, which is it increases the status effects by 25%. And then perk 3, we always want to run the All-Seeing Eye, where you target 5 targets for your ultimate. So there's that. In terms of my gear, ever since like we discovered like the Moonmaster tech, the cancel tech was discovered. I always run Moonmaster.
If you guys don't know the Moonmaster cancel, I do have a tutorial on how to do that, which I'll link in a card here and in the description below.
Like it kind of doesn't matter what katana you run with, but with Moonmaster cancel, you know, you can stagger brutes really easily. As for the perks, this is also a different focus for me too. Whether I'm speed running or solo running. If I'm solo running, I prefer doing ultimate damage on the katana, and I'll always have Moonmaster as my third perk. If I'm speedrunning, I'll either have the ability cooldown on my katana or my charm. But for my specific build, I have it on my katana. And the first perk, I'll always have perfect parry window because of the perfect parry like aim cancel. There's this dude named Kitakaze Apollon. He kind of discovered that, and I made use of that in like a lot of my solo runs. Let's say you're in a situation where you don't have ghost weapons available. Like if your smoke is on cooldown, if your sticky bomb or whatever you have on your ghost weapon 1, like if it's on cooldown, like perfect parry or like Moonmaster cancel, like that's like perfect, like get in headshots when you're just waiting for those to, you know, cool down.
And so I just wanted to showcase an example of this. As you can see, Joey doesn't have any ghost weapons, his ability is on cooldown, and he only has 1 bar of resolve. So with the combination of quick headshots, along with a perfectly timed, perfect parry headshot, helps him stay alive for him to get his ultimate up and wipe the wave.
No worries, man, it's all good.
Alright, going back to the gear again.
Obviously with the hunter, you want to run your skipping stone bow. I've had people ask me too on how to get it. I think that your best bet in getting it, you want to play as a hunter, and I think you would want to just run longbow. Anyway, like what I run on skipping stone bow, I always have as one of my perks is always reload speed. And then the second perk, I run range damage. But I remember again with the Yapua Stink, he mentioned that a lot of speedrunners kind of make this mistake. Because range damage is good, but him and Indigo Child 777, like their whole team, if they run Hunter, they always run reload speed and draw speed. The main reason being, the quicker the pullback on the arrow, the faster it is you can get that higher damage single arrow, you know? And then for the third perk, I prefer headshot refund. On solo, like it's easier to keep your arrow ammo account up, you know, with headshot refund, as opposed to helmet piercing ammo, or the helmet piercing arrows. That's actually really good to have when you're speed running, especially when I'm solo running. It's the golden armored guys. Moving on to my charm, I have obviously a hunter charm. What I run on the hunter charm, I also run ultimate damage. I no matter what, I'll run ultimate damage on the charm. At least like make it close to 20%. And then the second perk, I will always have a hunter ability radius. It's like really good for the explosive arrow. Like if and you want to have at least over like 95%. Like it can wipe out a whole wave if you get a headshot with your explosive arrow. For speed running, I'm with Yapua Stink on this. I personally really like foul arrows. Foul arrows are the third perk for speed running. I personally like to run foul arrows during speed running. But when I'm just like soloing, or sometimes I'll play with randoms just for fun, I use blessed arrows. For ghost weapon, I like to run sticky bomb, especially like yeah, all the speedrunners like to run sticky bombs too. The perks that I have, I like to use cooldown reduction on kill, and then the second perk I like to have status effect duration. So what makes status effect duration really good? There's a combo that I really like to do with the hunter. They'll stay stunned for a much longer time if you do sticky bomb with explosive arrow. I think as long as they're on fire, their stun will last longer on the sticky bomb.
And so here's a really good example of the combo that Joey mentions. Sticky bomb to explosive arrow stuns these white-haired Onis for about 8 seconds. This gives him a bunch of time to get in free headshots and quickly build his ult.
Yeah, do you see this? Yeah, you saw him, the one I aimed at. He was like stunned, you know, for a much longer time than normal. On the third perk, I like to run increased radius. I used to run Lucky on it, but sometimes like wave 12 on, let's say, Shores of Vengeance. The objective is ghost weapon kills. I liked Lucky for that, but then like sometimes the blast radius wouldn't be big enough to kill, like, let's say, like 2 enemies that are kind of close to each other. And it's easy to get back the sticky bomb with the cooldown reduction on kill. That the 4 sec, like if you get a bunch of kills with your ult, like that's like an instant 20 seconds cooldown back. Ghost Weapon 2, it's essential to have Smoke Bomb. And for this one, you want to have both of the cooldown reductions, the percentage and the one that's on kill. I have 2 of these Smoke Bombs because my third perk is different for either if I'm soloing or if I'm like running with a team. The third perk I'll always have is munitions. If I'm doing solo, I'll run Lucky. Always, if I'm running with someone else, I'm gonna run munitions because it helps out like Ronins if they want to pick up some bombs. It also gives you potentially you can get some more flaming fire arrows, and that's the build pretty much.
Alright, next we're gonna go over some tips and tricks to help you improve your hunter gameplay.
I guess one tip I haven't been explaining, if someone just happens to watch this video and then like they're wondering how we're shooting fast, is the reload animation cancel.
I'm not going to explain how to do this animation cancel. Instead, I'll actually point you to one of Joey's videos, which I think he does an amazing job at explaining exactly how to do this. And so as a hunter, this is probably one of the most important and fundamental skills that you should definitely learn first. The second tip is one that actually I didn't know about and kind of blew my mind.
So you want to stand at the tip of at the edge of a circle, and they'll kind of behave as if like you're outside of it. Sometimes it won't work. Sometimes it won't work. Sometimes. See, like right now. Do you see this? Yeah.
What?
Yeah. But archers and ranged, like, and even the guys who throw bombs, they can still throw stuff at you. That's the only thing that could kind of mess it up. And also for Hunter, what really helps, it took me a while to get used to at first. You would need to go to, if you press R1, go all the way to the right on your options, and then go to accessibility. You want to turn on aim assist. That's actually essential for Hunter if you want to play at a higher level. A couple runs with and without aim assist turned on and with it turned off, my results are actually a lot better when I have aim assist turned on. So if you aim, just like aim at him with your L2.
Oh shoot!
See how it snapped?
Yeah.
Snaps. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why Oni, like when people complain about Oni archers, they're actually not that bad.
I always make the mistake of forgetting to use my fire arrow, so this is just a reminder of when the optimal time to use it is.
So the fire arrow, I typically use a fire arrow on a beefy guy. Sometimes I'll kill everyone else but a beefy Oni. If he's by himself and all the enemies are gone except for him, that's when I use my fire arrows.
The next tip is the correct way you should be using your explosive arrow. And so with your explosive arrow, you should always be hitting headshots, as it does more damage and will wipe the wave faster.
See, those guys over there, they stayed alive.
The next set of tips aren't really specific to the hunter, but general tips that can be applied to any class. So this first generic tip is timing the waves.
And I want to show you a trick that Yapua showed me. So this is where the first spawn is going to be at for sure. Yeah, they typically go here. So you know how there's a countdown. So on 2, that's when you throw your sticky bomb. I'll show you what I mean. So 5, 4, 3, 2, throw.
And so this can be applied both to the sticky bomb and things like the bomb packs for the assassin and Ronin.
See that? I do like to do the dash attack cancel to go from zone to zone, because it does manipulate the Hwacha, the Hwacha positioning.
So this dash attack cancel is another animation cancel that Joey mentions.
So yeah,
again, Joey has made a video on this as well, which I'll link in the description below. Alright, next we're going to go into how Joey approaches combat against specific types of enemies. Joey uses this term called whiff punishing, which basically means countering an enemy either by dodging or parrying, so you can take advantage of the enemy's end animation frames to get in free damage and build resolve.
So I know this enemy is one of the hardest enemies for some people, but he's not so bad. He's a cool looking guy, but he's not so bad. But yeah, so he's not so bad. The Oni Lord, he's not so bad. You just gotta always pay attention to what he's doing. So that dodge right there. So typically before I would like to so see how he. So I'm basically about to whiff punish him right now. Let me see if I can capture him doing it. So right there. So but see how he's like, okay, if you look at the Oni Lord right now, see how. And look at my character. See, look at my character, and look at the positioning. So this is not going to hit me. It shouldn't hit me. Like when I exit photo mode, I should not get hit. See, I'm not hit. And so from here, in this window, if he still stays like that, it's a free headshot like this. Watch. See, it's free. Yeah. See, you don't get hit. My smoke bomb and my sticky bomb are on curl down. I can use this. I can perfect parry here. But if it, okay, yeah, see right there. So right there, you saw what I just did there. So instead of going for the counter attack by pressing square or triangle after the perfect parry, it's actually, yeah, that does more damage if you do the counter attack, but you build more resolve if you do the headshot perfect parry. And I think you would want to build resolve more than you would want to get the damage, because the ult will do the more damage in the end of it anyway. So
the next enemy that we can whiff punish is the Oni Brutes.
Okay. So this attack, okay, see this attack that you're dodging? So whenever an Oni Brute does this, this is a good time to use Moonmaster Cancel. This is like the perfect time to do it. So after he smashes right there, so right here, when he smashes his club, that's when you want to move in. See, he's already staggered. When an enemy is like staggered, for some reason, everyone else is just frozen. They're like, oh my gosh, he's staggered. I don't know why. It's just how it is. And then yeah, free headshots. Yeah, free headshots. Okay, so this I also like to punish. So this is like right here is like, as long as you do like a one dodge. Because some people, I feel like in defensive scenarios like this, here I like to dodge backwards and then go for headshots. Because it's free. Like right here, it's free. But yeah.
Finally, the last enemy that you can whiff punish are actually the bears.
You see how he's like... So and then he'll stay stunned for a much longer time.
Next, we'll go over the general playstyle that Joey uses. There is a certain rotation of abilities and ghost weapons that he does use. Again, your main goal is to build resolve as fast as possible so that you can get your ult to quickly take as many enemies down as possible. So the general rotation that he uses really focuses on controlling the waves and stunning the enemies in place to make it as easy as possible to get those headshots in. So your smoke can be used by itself to easily get your ult when your smoke is on cooldown. The sticky grenade to the explosive arrow again will stun enemies for about 8 seconds, getting a bunch of tick damage from the fire and giving you enough time to build your ult again. If all your abilities are on cooldown, you really want to be looking for these whiff punishes to get those free headshots to again get resolve and build your ult. With that, thank you so much, Joy, for instilling knowledge and helping me and all of you guys to become better hunters. So Joy, tell the people where they can reach you, and if you have anyone that you want to shout out, go ahead.
And the colors, the color hunter I run, it's my favorite color combined with her favorite color, which is just like perfect. So yeah, shout out to my girlfriend. But there is other soloists that I think deserve mentioning. Adam Bomb 1177. His name's Adam Green. He actually does solo with all the other classes, and I give him props for that because I don't have the patience. He deserves some recognition. Definitely the speedrunners. Shout out to Yopua Stink for teaching me like a lot of the stuff that I know right now. I wouldn't have known it if it weren't for him and Indigo. The Korean soloist guy. Check him out. He's good. One more person I have to shout out. Epic Plays. He is one of the guys to watch. Like he has a good following. I think Gooshy Gaming and Epic Plays are like the guys to watch for like streaming this game.
Thanks, Joey. And with that, as always, thank you guys for watching. Hope to catch you in the next one, and GG.